I'm about to cut him on right now. Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey, Sheree. Chad gonna hit me. He down at the spot. Like, what happened? Y'all ain't there?
Ain't nobody read the post.
I'm like, listen, everybody that bought a ticket, they already, you know what I mean? She hit him or whatever, and let them know we doing it. We on for next week. What up? What up? Mocha latte, 40 and fun. What up?
Ain't nobody buy no ticket.
Yeah, she like no. So for next week, I told her next week we at the spot. Scott, what up? It's official. What's good? What's good? All right, y'all see it? Sacrifices. That's what today is about. Sacrifices in your relationship. My phone?
As always.
You know inside you know how it is in the shop.
No, that's you. Your signal should be great if you connected to the Wi-Fi.
I'm connected now.
You trying to make some sacrifices? And we don't mean cutting the chicken head off neither. Miss Bradshaw, darling. Hello.
But
so we were supposed to be live, and I want to say this while everybody's on here. We were supposed to be live in person today, but clearly people don't know how to read. People are not reading and following directions. Everybody was supposed to buy a ticket, and you didn't buy one. So we're postponing to next Wednesday, the 24th from 7 to 9. The link is going to be in my bio. You cannot enter the place without buying a ticket. So you have to buy a ticket.
Please. So next week, but next week we said you just gotta register for next week, right?
What?
Remember we said you gotta register?
What do you mean register? Buy a ticket?
So you can be on the list.
That's why I said they have to buy a ticket.
Oh, okay.
You have to buy a ticket. The location that we have in it at, you cannot get in without a ticket. You have to buy a ticket. So if you plan on joining us live in person, you have to buy a ticket, please.
And I hope y'all ready too, because we got the panel jumping. Matter of fact, listen, you're gonna be able to join in, but we already got the panel. Hey Scott, we need you on that panel. You gotta represent for the single brothers. You know what I mean? We're gonna have people that's married on the panel, people that's single on the panel, people that's, like seasoned in the game, and then, some younger, up and coming, relationship folks that's gonna be in the mix too. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's going down. Be ready. Be ready. All right, Cherie, start us off on the intro since I'm finishing up. Let me see if you know how to do it.
So, if anybody's new to the live, I'm Cherie. That's Jamal. We've been married for 12 years, and it's been a rough, long year, but we're here. And today's topic is sacrifices in a relationship. So, Jamal, what's your opinion on sacrifices in a relationship?
I'm just finishing up now, so once you give us your opinion, I'm gonna chime right in.
So my opinion is I feel like women make more sacrifices than men.
Even with the men and women stuff, man. Come on, like, what's up with the
That's
toxic
the
femininity?
truth.
Like, what's up with the toxic femininity? Like,
you asked me, it's not
the
gonna
first
make
thing you want to
anything.
do.
That is my opinion. That's how I feel. I feel like women make more sacrifices than men. And
So
I also feel like men's definition of a sacrifice is not the same as our definition of a sacrifice. That is not a lie, Scott. It's not a lie. I'm going to tell you the reason why. I'm going to give y'all a prime example of what I mean of a sacrifice, right? For women, when we get a job opportunity or we hanging out with our friends, the first thing we thinking about is our mate and our children. That's the first thing we thinking about. What they got. We worrying about how our kids gonna get to school. We worrying about what our man got going on. All this other stuff before we be like, yeah. I feel like men just say yes without even thinking about any or everybody. It's just yeah. Whatever happened in the end just happens. Bradshaw, hi doll.
Hey, hon.
Sorry, how are you? How are you?
Good. Well, we wanted to chime in. Here we go from a 16 perspective.
Oh, what? So listen, right? Oh, wait, she can't be in the bar. She's too young. But we are looking for someone that is 23, between 23 and 25, though, for the panel.
You know we ain't here. You know we ain't going to be here. You know we ain't going to be here.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be at work. It's cool, sis. You here in spirits. You there in spirit. Hey, cousin.
I think, Mo, I got to agree. I agree or disagree with you. So I think that even though you're nothing, but
but
I feel like I don't think there's a gender role all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ideally, we are natural doers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's our nature. You know what I mean? Like we don't think about. We just do it. We don't think about it. We don't think twice. So I feel like our sacrifices, women, are different
Mm-hmm.
because of our genetic makeup. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that it just has like men versus women type of thing, but we do have different drink. I'm a single girl I cheer. Think about work.
I'm trying. Wait, what's the? I'm sorry.
What's the topic? Tell them the topic again.
So the topic is sacrifices in a relationship.
Sacrifices in a relationship.
Who makes the sacrifices?
Yeah, like who you feel like, in your opinion, in a relationship makes the most sacrifices,
and why?
And why? Yeah.
I don't even know. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Why you don't know though?
Yeah, right. We need to see. Hello, who we talking to?
I'm crying.
Where's the camera?
My hair ain't done.
My hair ain't done yet.
Oh, y'all in the shop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Morgan. You know Morgan.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey.
What's happening?
I don't know. It depends. I'm a player, so.
Thank you. I appreciate the honesty.
I can't chime in.
No, but I feel like you can chime in because even being a player, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna tap into even being a player and being a single woman.
Right.
When you're dating, do you feel like that you sacrifice more? Meaning, do you put yourself first, or do you think about the person that you when y'all courting each other? Because you're being a player, so you have, like, who makes the most sacrifices? Like, do you go to him more? Do he come to you more? Do you initiate the dates? Do you not hang out with your friends? I feel like you probably don't think about it as sacrifices because you are dating.
You're a player. Right. You're a player.
I get it from their perspective. Okay. So yeah, it'll be women.
But why though?
Because you are making the most sacrifice. You figure, like, all right, guys 9 times out of 10 they chilling in the house or whatever. Girls always outside with their girlfriends. They want to go get drinks and and the third. But your man wants you in the house. So then you sacrificing going out. You sacrificing your time. You want to make sure your man good. You checking on him, making sure he eat this, that, and the third. So you taking time out your day to pretty much make sure he cool. I'm not saying guys don't make sure the females is cool, but I feel like females do it more.
Yeah. But men may feel like they make sacrifices based off of financial. But as I said early on, in my perspective of a sacrifice, where if we have opportunities, we will turn to our spouse. We will think about our spouse and our children before we just sit in front of somebody and say yes. Like, it could be the best opportunity in the world. We're not going to say yes. We're going to think about it.
Right.
And think about our kids. We're going to think about the person we with at the time and all that other stuff before we just sit there and be like, yeah. I feel like with men, they don't think about that. They just be like, all right, yeah. And then they don't care what if it affects the whole overall situation. They don't care. They just like, no, this is it. This is right now. This is what we gonna do. And they just expect you to adjust.
You can figure the rest out later.
I feel that.
I'm just, listen, if I'm wrong, tell me.
No, I feel that one.
You know what they say about that clock, Sheree? Twice a day.
Listen here, Scott. I'm just being realistic, okay? I'm not talking about financial.
No, but y'all definitely don't sacrifice more than us, though, Sheree.
Why?
Y'all don't sacrifice more than us.
I'm like, all right, so like, I see, like, when you have a baby, like, if you get pregnant or something like that, like, all right, your body, things like that, you risk yourself if you see things like that. But as far as, like, all in all, like, a relationship, I think we have more to lose.
Say that. Why?
Yes. Why do you feel like that?
A lot of men say that.
All right, you got to think, right? How we raised y'all. Well, back in the day. Now y'all, I think, raised more like independently. But back in the day, I'm old now. I'm an old head now, right? Y'all was raised a certain kind of way, get a couple $, take care of your family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Men are raised to be like providers, provide, take care of the family. So we building stuff as we going up, and we gonna have, assets. We gonna have things going on. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to share that with you, especially if you got a kid. Like, if you got a kid, I'm taking care of somebody else's kids. It's a package deal. All right, okay. So I'm taking my resources, my resources, my time, give it to a woman and somebody else's kid, right? Now, that's it. Like you said, we are married. If we get divorced, now you can come after the stuff that I worked for.
But that's what I said with men feeling, when you hear the word sacrifice, y'all think it in a financial aspect. That's not my opinion. I'm not thinking about financial. I'm talking about in life,
day-to-day life,
general.
Day-to-day.
In life.
Day-to-day.
Hold up. Well, this is what I got a problem with.
Okay.
I mean, I got a problem with the fact that, anything that we bring into the table, you wanna take it off the table.
No,
you want to say, hold up. Finances is how we survive, and you want to take off how we survive as a reason for us saying that we sacrifice more. Now, I got a whole different spin on why we sacrifice more, but my whole thing is we're putting everything on the table. Let's stop trying to diminish finances, okay?
I'm not diminishing it.
Because you're not messing with somebody that's broke and that's not coming to the table.
Sacrifice
they should.
Two people can't talk at one time. I'm sorry.
They should be looking at it as a sacrifice, because it is. It's one form of sacrifice. Finances, so I'll say this. I'm gonna say why it's a sacrifice. And finances is, and this is where you get it messed up at. If I'm sacrificing my money for you, you know what I mean? I'm not just saying, I'm not looking at it like, oh, this is a dollar amount. Like niggas is not, you know what I mean, just giving money. So this man is working hard, busting his ass for these couple little pennies. And he gonna take his little pennies and say, you know what? I want to make sure that y'all cool. That's called love. So stop trying to take the love away from when a man is working hard to get a dollar in his life to provide for his family, and
Ma,
you want to say it's just finances.
I agree
Stop
with that, Ma. I
okay,
agree.
That's all I wanted to say.
But I didn't take away from what finance. I didn't say that. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all mindset is totally different of what I'm talking about. I'm sure anybody else knows exactly what I'm talking about. I said I'm gonna give you another example. A man and with women with their friends, men with their friends. When you with your friends and if you one of your friends like, yo, we going out, you gonna be like, all right, give me about 15 minutes, I'm gonna go home, change my clothes, blah, blah, blah. Forget your wife, forget your spouse, forget your kids, forget you ain't seen nobody all day, forget any of that. You straight saying yes. You ain't like, oh, you know what? Give me about 20 minutes, let me talk to my people, see what's going on, whatever, and I get back to you. You just straight saying yes.
That's the man who don't pay no bill. That's the man who paid all the bills.
Here we go back with the finances. Y'all not hearing me. You understand what I'm saying, Ms. Bradshaw?
No, I understand what you're saying. I think they both are great points, and I think that like I tried to say early on, we are genetically different. You know what I mean? So of course, like how I feel certain things go unappreciated, I can feel I'm sacrificing more, but in a man's perspective, they feel like they sacrificing more. But I just wanted to hear from a man, like, why do y'all say it? But I understand it because it's kind of like, because my husband said it to me, like, I got a lot to lose. And I'm like, nigga, I can count it up too. Like,
right.
like if you lose, we're going to lose together. You get what I'm saying? But that whole being a man thing, and the court is designed for women, and all that divorce stuff is for designed for women. So they do got more than in that aspect. Yeah. And you know what I mean? But y'all have to hear what we're saying, that we feel like we sacrifice a lot with time and thinking about and putting effort into just certain things. You know what I mean? Like we sacrifice not,
my guy,
like not hanging out with, like I sacrifice not hanging out with Cherie because Cherie know I gotta go cook, or Cherie sacrifice not hanging out with me because she gotta go get her kids, or X, Y, and Z. You get what I'm trying to say? So like, those are.
It's like y'all have your own, like y'all have a life with or with, like it doesn't matter to y'all about your kids or your relationship. And I'm not saying that it's intentional. I don't think it's nothing personal. I just feel like that's just how y'all are made to just think like y'all not thinking about those type of things that we would think about everyday life. Like I said, I don't make a decision without thinking about my husband or thinking about my children. I don't.
All men are different, Sheree. All men are different. So you telling me I can't get a kid's hot dog and baked beans 2 days out of the week like you gonna do? I
No,
can do
that's
that.
no.
Cause you
No,
asking
because
me.
see, they ain't happening
Come on,
because with a husband like mine, the one that's cackling,
a
the
little
one
oodles and
that's
noodles.
cackling
Like,
in
come
the
on, stop.
background right now, he always looking for a meal and calling me. I could be out of town and he calling me talking about what I'm gonna eat. What
That's
do
true.
you mean?
I'm sorry.
See?
Listen,
No, I'm being smart though, but I'm just saying everybody's situation is different. But it's about how you design your life though, Sheree. If you like y'all always talk about, mom always say grabbing the bucket, right? So if it's 7 days out the week, all right, Sheree, listen, I ain't gonna be home. It's about the communication. Listen, I ain't gonna be home, and I need you to grab Drees. I need you to grab Drees. Your daughter Harlem. I need you to grab Harlem and Drees, and feed them. I'll be home a little late. Y'all probably do the same thing for each other. So it's not like it's just that gender rule. Like, all right, every time you cooking. So you can't be like, oh, I sacrifice love. Y'all communicate. Listen, babe, I'm gonna get home late because
But
you take care of the kids
most
tonight.
situations,
All
that's
right,
what I'm
cool.
saying. I'm being realistic. Like that was rough for me and Jamal because
Are we
again,
like me?
Jamal would just be like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and not even thinking about nothing that we had going
Sheree.
on because he knew I had everything under control. So I feel like when it was time for me to do certain things in the past, it was like, oh, I can't do it because, I got my kids or I got
Share the
this or I got
share
that.
the
And it was like I had to sacrifice certain things that I really wanted to do at the time because I was too busy, you know, basing it off of either him or my kids. And I feel like it wasn't like for him, he just did whatever he wanted to do and wasn't thinking about none of that.
So let me just add this. So you know what I mean? I do agree, you know what I'm saying,
He
that
gonna say, I'm sorry, I'm Lee. I was at the Rose Garden. That's
who that?
Blackie Chad.
Oh, Blackie. So this what I will say. I'll say, I agree with the fact that, both women and men both make sacrifices, but they just look differently. And, it doesn't make it any less of a sacrifice. You know what I mean? So I don't even know, like, I'm not going to sit up here and say we have more sacrifices than a woman because y'all responsibilities is different. I really think it pans out to be equal. And I always use the terminology that, a household may have 10 things that need to be done. You know what I mean? The woman will have 5, and they may look completely different from the 5 that the man has. And I just don't think it's a thing where it needs to be like, well, Dag, we sacrifice more, because at the end of the day, you're doing, things that you're qualified to do. You're not doing anything that you're not qualified to do in terms of cooking, in terms of, other responsibilities in our household. Those are all things that you are highly inept to be able to accomplish. So at the end of the day, it's like, don't complain about, the responsibilities that you got or the sacrifices that you have to make, because we're both making sacrifices. You know what I mean? Now, a man actually has to sacrifice his life, because at the end of the day, when it comes to your household, guess who is the protector of that household? Your
Me.
man. At the end of the day, your
Oh, you
man,
took
when
from
somebody
my
come
mouth.
and
Me.
knock that, don't even, when your man come, when somebody come to your household and they bang and they kick down that door, your man is going to be the first one to
Like
rise
Jamal,
up.
get together.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Get
Your man
together,
is going
get
to be the
together,
first
get
one
together.
to rise up, and he going to go downstairs and see what the fuck is going on.
I
So at the
want
end of
to
the
real
day,
too.
you
He
know what I
just
mean?
gonna go
We
first.
we have, real responsibilities. And that's just like in the animal kingdom. The lioness, the woman, the female lion, she does the hunting, and the male lion does the protecting. But they both work hand in hand. You can't just hunt this food and think you're gonna be safe alone, because you can hunt an animal and go to eat it, and then the hyenas will be on your ass. So you got the male lion that keep the hyenas off everybody's ass, so we can actually eat the food that you hunted. But we a team. So I think that we both equally sacrifice things. They just look different. But women be jealous of how our sacrifices look. Like, y'all be jealous we can stand up and
Jealous.
pee. Like, what is that?
Come
Like,
on, don't
you
do
got
that.
responsibilities,
Don't do
the
that.
man
How
got
are we
Mo,
jealous?
responsibilities.
Mo, the jealousy thing.
Like,
I just think that go back to the appreciation part, because
mhm.
although our sacrifices look different, when a person thought about, I think we feel, I don't think it's I think it's resentment.
You breaking up a little bit.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little shaky.
I think that's the man with the car pulling. You're stuck. But
that's Scott. Come on, brother. Look, that man he's sacrificing right now. He got his kids in the damn car while he's on the live. That's what I'm talking about, man. Black men holding it down again.
Oh Lord.
I'm in Maryland, beloved.
Go ahead. Hey, Bradshaw, come on. You was getting somewhere. Talk to me.
I said, I think that our sacrifices do look different. We agree on that part. But I don't think jealousy is the right word. I think resentment is the right word. I agree. We resent the not being appreciated type of thing. Because although we may feel like as women that we feel like we are sacrificing more than you guys, whatever, right? And if we keep on expressing, well, before you go out, let me know, or X, Y, and Z, or just run it by me, or X, Y, and Z, but you're not doing that, it just looks, it looks to us as, I ain't gonna say, I'll be, what is that word? Inconsiderate sacrifices. You know what I mean? So every once in a while, I feel like you should just check in. Just check in,
I gotta, so listen.
Like, wait, before you start talking, I want to say this while everybody's slowly getting on. So we're going live. We were supposed to go live in person today, but the issue was people did not purchase a ticket. So we're going to postpone it until next Wednesday, the 24th. The link is in my bio. You must purchase a ticket to get into the place. So the link is in my bio. All you have to do is buy a ticket, please.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
Thank
so
you.
Just to say this, I'm gonna add to what you said.
And also, we're looking for a married man, a married woman, a single man, a single woman, a 23 to 25-year-old woman, because we have a man already. That's what we're looking for the panel.
We're putting together a panel. Next week is gonna be live. We're gonna be at MXL Cafe in West Philly. The family, we got a bar lounge in West Philly. We wanted to have some food and whatnot, for everybody that's going to be there, so you can have the opportunity to get food, drinks, if that's what you want, or whatever the case may be. So we're going to have it in person. We'll have a nice time. 7 and 9, anyway,
you'll be fine.
But so this is what I'm saying. Like, in terms of the whole, and I appreciate your transparency and your honesty, Bradshaw, with the whole resentment thing. You know what I mean? But that's my whole thing. Like, you
single though, April, right? Sorry, go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's like that resentment is coming from a place it don't even need to come from. Because I'm not resenting my wife when it's 12 inches of snow, outside, and I grab the shovel when I go out there and I pave a way. I heat the car up. I take the snow off the windshield. I put salt down on everything while they cozy. Hold up, while they cozy in the bed, and all that. I'm not resenting my wife for that. In fact, this is the crazy part about it. I literally take pride in doing man shit.
Right.
Like,
so
I feel like that feels good to me to be able to do that.
Correct.
But
so I'm not where's the resentment coming from?
I
don't get that.
You on.
Listen, I feel like, imagine if when you came in the house, she don't gotta say thank you, every little thing.
April, inbox me a picture. Jomo, send me a picture.
She didn't show you appreciation when you did those little things.
Mm-hmm.
How would you?
Yeah, it don't always be there, but it don't stop me as a man from feeling good about doing man things.
It don't stop us either. But I don't think that we're jealous of you. I'm just saying, I think that's where maybe resentment is not the right word, but I think that's where attention and stuff.
It is though, but stop resenting. Like, that's what you was put on the earth to be, is you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how's you define what your destiny is? How'd you define, what your whole your purpose is? Like, it's a significant purpose in being a woman that is so dynamic, it's unexplainable. You guys bring life into this world. Like, that is how the circle of life continues to continue to move along, is because life come through your body. Like y'all so dynamic and y'all getting caught up in being, you know, you feeling resentment because your man ain't call you to tell you that he stepped out or whatever the case may be. Personally,
yeah, but you can't say that when you want that same energy in return. You can't. You want your woman to check in with you. You want to know what's going on with her. Why can't it be the same thing? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, so I can speak for myself.
It can be
Speaking
reciprocated.
for
There's nothing
myself,
wrong with that.
and listen, speaking for myself, and this don't have to abide by anybody else's household. For me, if we've been together long enough, I don't want us to have to have a high level of communication about a whole lot of stuff. I don't want you to have to check in with me if you just getting some, you know what I mean? If it's just you having brunch or lunch with your sister or with, you know what I mean, your friends. You don't have to check in with me like that all the time. Like you really don't.
Like that, though,
as long as you safe,
be
if you feel like
it wasn't always like that.
Listen, but that's what I just said. If you got time in like that, we got time in like that. You ain't got to check in with me for every little thing. Like I'm gonna see you in a little bit. If you feel unsafe somewhere or whatever, or if I feel, if I get an urge that something ain't cool, I'm gonna holler at you and check on you. But other than that, like you ain't got to tap in for every little thing. We grown. We done been together for multiple years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. And see, that's what I don't like too, is because as men, we've had women in our lives for our entire life. We had moms. You know what I mean? Some of us didn't have dads or whatever the case may be, but just about everybody, most people have had a mom. We done had teachers, you know what I mean? Most of the time in schools, the teachers is women. You know what I mean? You know, it's like a man don't want to keep on getting told what to do. You know what I'm saying? At some point, where does it end? Where you want to have control? Like, no, you ain't got to control nobody. You know, you can hit me if you want to talk to me or check in. I can hit you, and I'm not going to, make a move that I feel is going to be inconsiderate to our household. Like, I'm going to think about the move that I'm making, and certain things I need to tap in with you because I'm not sure, and I'm going to need you to do X, Y, Z, just like you might need me to adjust, certain things in my schedule. So we all sacrificing, but in terms of the check-in thing. You've been together for a while, that starts to be a power trip thing, and I'm not with the power trip, Joe. Right.
I agree with you, bro. I think if you checking and you tapping in too much, man, they gonna lose respect for you, bro. You telling me your every move and all that.
No, this is how it feels.
No, I'm just saying for me. Listen, I can't keep a relationship together, but I'm just telling you how I feel. Like, like I really believe, like, yo, listen, if I keep telling you everything and checking and blowing your phone up all the time, you gonna lose interest, man. Like, you want a nigga to lead, but and be fair, but
phone breaking up, Scotty.
If I'm going out with the guys, I'm going out with the guys. Or you're not gonna be like, oh, I left the club, we went to brunch. Oh, honey, I'm going here. You're gonna be like, no, I'm going out. I'm coming home. You come home at a decent time. That's it. And then you'll tell me about your night. You're gonna omit some things, but that's it. That's what the house gonna be.
No, but that's
the
reason why a lot of relationships are not either to get people are still not together or whatever, because the communication is like zero. It's nothing wrong. I'm not saying you got to be like, oh, I just went to the bathroom. Oh, I just brushed my teeth. I'm not talking about that. Like, we got to be realistic here. Like, if you're going to go do something that's out of the ordinary of your routine, from going to work, it's nothing wrong with communicating with your spouse to say, hey, babe, I'm about to go out with my friends. Especially if y'all pretty much do the same things every single day. It's nothing wrong with communicating with your spouse. Like, hey, I'm about to go wherever. I don't know. I'm not saying you got to be dropping your location and doing all that. That's your mind. Y'all got to get out of that. Like, it's nothing wrong with that, because if God forbid something happened to you, all I know is that you were at the shop.
At work.
That's it. That's all I know. Because you feel as though, oh, I shouldn't have to communicate every little thing. It's not about every little thing. You have to be realistic. Like, it's nothing wrong with calling your spouse to inform them that you're getting ready to do something that's out of the ordinary of what you normally do. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm following you on that, and it just, the thing about it is, all communication, like, all communication is not verbal. You know what I mean? It's certain things that once we've had chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Certain things we have understood, certain rhythms we have understood, you know what I mean? So like all communication is not verbal, you know what I mean? So, you know, let's just say for instance, I'll use the analogy for a team all the time, you know what I mean? Like in terms of sports. So let's just say, you know what I'm saying, Jordan and Pippen, you know, they played together to the point where they have a rhythm and an understanding of how they play together. So it's times where it may be a look that Jordan might give to Pippen, and he might know that he's shooting for the basket and he can give him the alley-oop. You know what I mean? That chemistry is where I aspire to be with my relationships. I don't aspire to have a relationship where I have to, you know what I mean, have to constantly, you know what I'm saying, verbally explain every little detail. I don't, you know, and I'm sure most men will tell you, we don't want to always be explaining a whole lot of details. Certain things,
can I say,
you know what I mean? Sure.
I feel like that comes with trust and rebuilding trust, whatever you ever went through, or you ever went through with your spouse or went through in the past. And I feel like, you know, if you honest with yourself, if your spouse before, I mean, if your person before your person that you with now was a liar and a cheater, and you express those things, not saying, I mean, and then sometimes people don't fix themselves before they try to get in a relationship, and they bring them problems to their next relationship. So it's probably, I ain't gonna say me because I don't act like that, but if I'm not going to be, oh, where you at every 5 seconds, because I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but when my husband goes out, like, he don't go out a lot, but when he goes out, like he be like, babe, I'm going out, da 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 da, and I say, okay, cool. And I be thinking, and I think at first he used to be like, well, why you always so cool with me going? I'm like, 'cause you don't go out, and I want you like, like you need to go out. But if he say, babe, I'm on my way home, or he calling me, where you well, you still in the shop, or let me know when you about to leave X, Y, and Z. And he be like, I'm on my way home. I get home before him, and he still won't be there for like 2-3 hours. You get what I'm saying? It's like, well, I thought you said you was on your way home. Now that's when but I was talking, It was like, well, dang, I wanted you to do, you said you was going to do And that's where women more sacrifice, and I think that's what you'll be talking about. As
I mean, yeah.
like,
I mean, I get that. Somebody made a comment down here. He said, I call my wife often because I love her, and she doesn't call me like that, but I know she loves me. We both come from different backgrounds and was raised different. So so that's a good point too. So, you know, ultimately he's saying like he calls his wife all the time. She don't really, you know, call him, but he knows, you know, she loves him, and we're raised differently. So again, like even with that, you know, some people based on past, like you were saying, you know, feel more comfortable with a call or a check-in or whatever the case may be, or you know, or whatever. You know what I mean? I just like, for me personally, man, like I feel like like with anything else in life, you know, I just want to continue to elevate, you know what I'm saying, my like finances, you know what I mean, my spirit, you know what I mean, my relationships with people, my understanding of life. Like I just want to constantly, you know, grow. And I feel like, you know, from a relationship standpoint, I want to get to a point where we can have nonverbal communication, where we can look at each other in the eyes and know where we're going with this. You know what I mean? Where we can, you know, have more of an understanding. You know what I'm saying? So like that's something I aspire to get to that point. You know, I don't aspire to, again, have to, you know, explain every little thing in detail. Some things I want to be able to give you that eye look and you be like, oh, all right, cool, I dig it. You know what I mean? Whoop, wop. And you know, and that's all I'm saying, because again, back to just being a team, you know, like that to me is a flex. You know what I'm saying? When when you get me. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know your situation, but like Cherie might not know what that look is, because I feel as though, even, all right, you know, I go back to me. Like even for me, like being married, we had two different perspectives when we first was married. We had two different perspectives about what a
you
wife
can get on the app, Jomo.
or what or what a husband look like. You know what I mean? So his mine. So it's always good to keep communicating. Whether you look at Cherie like, bitch, I know, I don't know, I ain't saying you, but girl, you like stop, like don't even play without you even saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at the end of the day, you still gotta like. She don't know your expectations all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like you might have it in your head what you want her to do, but she not gonna know because that's where it's at. It's in your head. Like you ain't verbally tell her. I'm not saying you gotta tell her, Cherie. When I wink my eye, that means let's go. But you know what I'm saying, Mo?
Yeah, but it's certain things that she do like that already.
Hey, Mark,
Like
can I ask you a question,
you know what really
Mark,
like
can I ask
lights
you a
me up.
question?
It's times I like she'll grab something from the store like food or something like that. You know what I mean? And it might just be something specific that I fuck with that everybody else might not fuck with. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It might be like like I put bananas in like my morning smoothie or whatever, and I'm out of bananas. You know what I mean? I ain't even had to say nothing. And then, you know what I mean, I come in and I'm looking at them all around. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And I look over to the side and the bananas over there. I'm like, damn, I fucks with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a real good feeling knowing that, like, somebody, you know, is connected and understands you. And that comes over time. So I'm just saying I aspire to be more like that where we have a better understanding, you know, of each other. Like, you know my intent. Okay, he gonna hang out. And guess what? He might, knowing him, he gonna say he gonna come here at 8. He probably gonna come in this motherfucker at 10. You know what I mean? But that's just how he moves. You know what I mean? I know he cool. I know he out there. He probably don't know what to do because he don't go out that often. So he like, oh, well, what and finally just start talking shit to his homies or whatever and come in later. But you know him. And that's all I'm saying. Like, a lot of times we get thrills off of feeling like we need to check somebody, feeling like we need to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, debate about where somebody going, where you at, who you with. And you, deep down, you might know, like, this nigga don't never get out. He just having a good little time. Let him live. It's times you done said you was going to come in at 10 and maybe come in at 12, whatever, and he just keep on going on about his business or whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying, like, let's stop trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, normalize being a reprimander about every little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Ma, would you be a stay-at-home dad?
Hell no.
Yes, I would love it.
Cherie, like,
He
created a
lying.
product. I asked you, Cherie, I asked Ma, if Cherie created a product or something like that, would you be a stay-at-home dad?
I would. I love Cherie, chill.
He is
I
a
love doing stuff with the
liar.
kids.
Jamal is lying.
He just thinking about on the cooking side.
Listen, he
sacrifice, my brother.
Would
you sacrifice this
Let me
working on all
this
your
is what I'm saying. We got this platform to be transparent, and I am super transparent when it comes to my relationship. Jamal does what Jamal wants to do. Jamal is not sacrificing everything that he got going on for me if anything happens to where I'm like hit it big or you know
Jomo, I see you just ordered your ticket.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I ain't mad at him. It is who he is. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like Jamal has, like, he's that only child syndrome. And if anybody know about kids, that's the
what did that
only
mean?
kid. A lot.
No.
You want what you want when you want it. And you're not thinking about nobody else. You're very selfish at times. That's the truth with a lot of things. You know.
Jamal, I believe you, Jamal. I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
You know what's interesting?
Okay.
Jamal gonna grab the mop. Jamal gonna grab the mop.
I'm gonna grab the mop. Listen, this is the interesting thing. Hey, Bradshaw, dig this.
I'm listening.
It's so funny because people be mad at you when you make sure that you're covered. Like, it's a negative connotation on you making sure that you're responsible for yourself. They call that being selfish. But they don't got no real word for when you're doing everything for everybody else. What's the word for that? Because people want that. People want you to put yourself to the side and make sure that their needs are always met.
But you want somebody to put themselves to the side for you.
No. I want my needs met. However, you still have a responsibility to yourself, whether it's to your happiness, whether it's to your health, whether it's to your mental well-being. Like, that's a responsibility of yourself. And you know what I mean? I'm not going to feel no type of way about taking responsibility for making sure my mental health is good, my spiritual health, because that's what allows me. People don't dig it. Me being quote unquote selfish is what allows me to be able to help so many other people. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just saying, I ain't never gonna feel no type of way about. You know what I'm saying? Like being happy is your responsibility. You know what I mean?
I need you to be honest, Jamal. You is a spoiled brat, and that's okay. You're my spoiled husband, and I need you to stop fronting.
No, you spoiled me for sure. That's why I married you, because I knew you could.
Gotta be selfish.
Stop fronting.
That's why I married you. I knew you could spoil me. I knew you could take care of me. I need to be taken care of. You know what I mean?
Mom said, I gotta be selfish to help y'all out. You know what I'm
saying? Hey man, like
and all cats.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mom.
You know what I mean? Listen, King. Don't let them turn. You know what I mean? Don't let them block your blessings, King. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
don't let them twist the narrative.
Hey Scott, don't. Hey Scott, no, beloved, not at all.
I know my bread is better than that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so the question is.
Hey Jomo, I talk about some congrats to you. No, it ain't.
Jomo just bought his ticket. I seen it come up on the June. I see you on Wednesday, Jomo.
Hey, yo, I'm a sponsor too, Mom. I'm a sponsor. I just sponsored 2 tickets, bro.
Y'all gotta go on the app. Please download NXL INC and purchase your ticket. Thank you.
Right.
Huh? You heard me, Mom?
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm a sponsor 2 tickets.
Up, my guy.
And for him too, I'm sponsoring you too.
Period.
Here we go.
That's
you know what I mean? So the competition. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna be there.
Period.
That's right, Jomo said he bought 10.
10.
No, I appreciate you, Bradshaw. I would love to have you in the building. I always love your perspective.
She gonna be out of town,
you know what I mean?
working,
I always
but,
respect
you know what I mean? She'll be there in spirit.
No, that's understandable. You know what I mean? We gonna have a pop and listen. So real quick too though, like we're gonna have a panel jumping for next week. And our panelists are going to have their own topic of discussion that they want to discuss. So, you know what I mean? The men are going to have topics that they come in with, you know what I mean, whether they single, whether they married, and the women are going to have topics that they want to come in, whether they single or they married. So it might be a question that you might have that you know what, I just really want to ask men this. Like I don't get this part about men, and I just want to ask these men this question. I just want a real answer to this question. So whatever that question is, if you're a panelist, I want you to make sure you bring that to the table. And the same thing for our male panelists. You know what I mean? Blackie Chad will be on the hookahs. You know what I mean? For our male panelists, listen, you might have a question for these modern women.
The live person is going to be an open topic discussion. So again, it's going to be one single man, one single woman, one married man, one married woman, one man that's between the age of 23 and 25, and a woman of the age of 23 and 25. So it's going to be an even balance. Everybody come in with their own topic on what they want to talk about. So it's going to be an open topic discussion.
Ain't nobody, so y'all ain't going live next week. So I got to watch.
Yeah, we're going to be live. We're going to go live, but we're going to be live in person too.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to, tap in, of course, but we're going to be catering to the people that's going to be having the mic, that's going to be, in the building. And I know how y'all get. So we gonna have the whole structure the way as though everybody ain't talking over everybody and all that there. That see, Bradshaw, if you was there, you don't even need no mic. When we was at the recital,
yeah,
you on all of our stuff, I hear your voice. On everybody's stuff, it's your voice. You know what I mean? Howling out for them kids while we was at the recital. So you wouldn't even need no microphone.
For sure.
But like I said, get y'all questions ready. April, you know what I mean? Get them questions ready. Scott, I know you got questions. Jomo, y'all got to check Jomo page out. It's one of the most disrespectful pages
Jomo is hilarious.
On Instagram. I don't even know where you got this whole thing from, but Jomo is hilarious. So listen, I want to get some more insight or perspective. Yo, what's up? Oh, she just stepped out. All right, so I want to get go ahead.
I want to ask
Go ahead.
one question more, and I'm gonna tap out, bro. I'm gonna let somebody else jump on. No, I just want to know, like, well, as far as like children, whatever woman left, I want to know as far as like children. I think women sacrifice more, right? But I think it depends on the structure of your relationship. Like I was saying earlier, like if she's like a go-getter type of woman, and y'all have like, okay, we have a kid, right? Like, you know, you guys are entrepreneurs, so it might work out better for you guys. But if she had like a job or something like that, then how would that's what I'm saying, how would you structure that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to work out with each other. But with Sheree, you saying y'all sacrifice more to the kid, but if you have like a structured job and he doesn't, you're gonna lean on him more.
Yeah, that's a good point, Scott. It's like, and that's why I don't even like to look at it like who does more, because again, Scott, it's like if we a team, like niggas just gotta step up where where they gotta step up. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, we'll be there next week.
Oh yeah, we gonna be in Miami in a couple weeks. But I so like, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to do whatever is needed, you know what I mean, for the team to win. And that's how Sheree is for real. Like we both really like that. Like I got like personally, I really want to say like, yeah, like all on the live and all that, Sheree be on that, you know what I'm saying? We women is this and we women is that. But really as a wife, honestly, like Sheree really is about this like relationship life, you know what I'm saying? And she really do ride, like, whatever needs to be done. You know what I mean? She's willing to make that sacrifice. And I think, you know what I'm saying, within your relationship, you got to have two people that's willing to do what needs to be done. And it might be something big, it might be something small. Like you said, like with the kids, like I shouldn't be like, oh, well, the kids, you've been taking the kids to school or whatever the case may be. So now that you got a job, you're going to have to figure that out. Like I should be willing to, to sacrifice if need be to make it all happen, because we a team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why that marriage word is a that joint can be a problem, because when you start talking about like, this is my wife, this is my husband, you're expecting, and I think that's what hurt us early on. We had expectations of what a wife was supposed to be, what a husband was supposed to be, and it needed to fit in that joint. But we have our own relationship, we have our own lifestyle that really we need to customize, with our roles is in the house. And that's why I prefer to use the terminology of partner or teammate, because when you look at your teammate or your partner, you're more willing to go outside of, like, your job is to get the job done. Your job ain't to do just XYZ. Your job is to get the job done, whatever it needs to be done. And when you say wife, it's like, oh, well, she got to, do X, she got to pick up the kids, or she got to cook. And it's like that can throw off
nothing.
That can throw off your relationship when you put people in the box of saying, because you're a wife, because you're a husband, this is what you need to do. Like that joint really has to be customized to each household. You know what I mean? So for our household, yeah, I'm gonna do if I gotta pick them kids up, I'm picking them kids up. You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta it's about, adjusting, and whatever role that needs to be played in that moment, that's just what you have to do. So I feel like a lot of relationships go sour because, which even with us, like early on, like he said, we felt like, no, this is what you should be doing. No, this is what you should be doing, instead of thinking about, like, in that moment, like, this is just what we have to do in the moment. It's not permanent. But back then it felt like is this it? Is this all I'm going to be doing while they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this, instead of looking at it as like, okay, it just was temporary? Because for us, a lot of things have changed for us, like, so many times over, and like now it just has gotten better because it's just more of an understanding, like, okay, it's not necessarily permanent, but we just making it work for now.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to sacrifices, is if we look at that definition, I got my other phone in the other room. Looking up the definition of sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like what does that mean? Is to me, sacrifice is an investment. You know what I mean? And that's, again, terminology is very important, because terminology, it kind of lays the foundation for what you're doing. You know what I mean? So when you look at the term of sacrifice, you know, to me is a good thing because it shows how much you're willing to commit to your team because you're sacrificing something. You know what I mean? But it also is an investment. You're making a sacrifice for something to be better off for your team either now or in the long run. So if I'm, you know what I mean, picking up the kids, it's so that she can go to her job, you know what I mean, and we're bringing in another stream of income, which is going to help us out, you know what I mean, in the long run. So I'm not going to really, you know, we might not like, you know, what we have to do in terms of sacrificing, but sacrificing ultimately is an investment. When you sacrifice, that means you're putting up your wants for your ultimate needs. So I think that, you know, in terms of sacrifice, you know, it means like that is one of the foundations for a team. You're going to have to do some shit you don't like to do. Like that's a part of the game. Sacrifice is a part of the game. It's just like with any other game. You got to take with everything that comes with it. You got to take the good and the bad. You got to take, you know, all in between. So to me, sacrifice is a part of the game of a relationship. If you're not willing to sacrifice, then you're not ready for a partnership. You're not ready for that. You know what I mean? And that's okay, bro.
Everything I see about sacrifice, man, is talking
Oh,
about
I
putting
know.
your hand against the guy,
But
bro.
I just
That's the only
saw
thing.
said
Not
what
that
is the
definition.
sacrifice in relationship. It say
But
sometimes
that's still for a blessing.
sacrifice. It says sometimes the sacrifice can be a life change, such as deciding to move to a different state in order to be with your partner. Other times it might be something small and seeming, such as seeing as acting, moving instead of the comedy you would be have chosen. I don't know. That's just dumb. But the
An act
beginning
of
was
giving
like,
up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more
Yeah, that's
important.
what I got.
Exactly. So if you look at that definition,
One
Jomo put
word.
it, an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. So sacrifice is ultimately an investment. You know what I mean? So whatever sacrifices that you're making in your relationship is an investment in that relationship. You might be giving up something that you want in your relationship for something that your relationship needs. So be prepared for a sacrifice in your
what's the question?
relationship
You got
because
put in
that makes
a
it
little
better.
question mark box.
Oh yeah, put in the question mark box. And Blackie, where you at? You still in the room? Or April? I want to get your perspective on sacrifice. If y'all
April
want to
coming
tap in.
in.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
what's happening?
I got something to say.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna be good this time. I promise you,
Whatever
I
on
come
it.
in peace.
I dig it.
So I'm sitting here and I'm taking all of this in, and
All right,
I'm
Scott.
tapping out,
Scott.
bro. All right.
so I'm taking all of this in, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'm reading all the comments, and what I'm thinking in my mind is sacrifice has a different definition to different people, depending on how they was raised, what their beliefs are. You know what I mean? What you think about that?
Give me an example.
For example, sacrifice to someone may be a person taking off of work if they're sick to take care of them. For me, and not saying me personally, but I'll just use me as an example. Someone else would be like, no, like you can't sacrifice that. Like you got to pay your bills. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's where a lot of us bump heads because we have different ideas around sacrifice. What you may give, I may not give. Vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I respect that. That's a good point because yeah, some sacrifices we're not willing to make, you know, and that's where, you know, you, I guess initially coming into a relationship, you know, things have to be put on the table. You know what I mean? These are my expectations, and you might say, you know what, I respect that, but I'm not willing to sacrifice XYZ, and that's why, you know, and that's why relationships won't work because of certain sacrifices that people aren't willing to make. You know what I mean? That's very interesting. That's a good point because of your lack of sacrifice, it could cause the end or it could cause the end of a relationship. So
Right.
what I heard somebody say, or it was like, it was somebody that was like, oh, let's just look at this. Let's just look at if a man wants to have a baby or vice versa, and the woman doesn't want to have a baby. You know what I
That's a good
mean?
example.
You know, so the woman might say, listen, I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to have children, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. And of course, having a child is a sacrifice. It is an investment because, you know, that's something that you can pour into, and later on in life is going to grow to be something special and, you know, and dynamic. So that woman may say, I don't want to have a child, you know what I mean? And that man may say, well, listen, that's what I want. I would love to have a child.
But that's
So at
my
that
point.
point,
That's my
you at a
whole point.
crossroad. Yeah,
To
you
her,
at a
she's
crossroad.
like, I make other sacrifices. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a sacrifice for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Due to her own belief and due to his belief, yeah, you need to do it because if you say you love me, this is how you show your love language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The other thing is communication for me, and I'm gonna say this because I'm the single one in the room. So like during dating, everybody is caught up in lust and trying to be cool and impressionable. People don't really get into those conversations. It's almost like not until you're like a year or two in. Now that's the sacrifice stuff. You know what I mean? Like we don't sit down at the table and talk over dinner on our first, second, or third date about, okay, what are the things you're willing to sacrifice? Like, what is your sacrifice norms?
Yeah, because talking about that stuff too early on is damn near a red flag. You know what I mean? Like second date, or I don't know, you know, first, second date, and you talking about, you know what I mean? Some of those deeper, you know, some of them deeper questions, sometimes that could be a red flag or a turn off. Like, damn, she's talking
Right.
about
But
I'm
not,
marriage or
glad you
but
something.
not
mentioned
from
it.
not
You know
from
what I
the
mean?
perspective of people who has past relationships, past marriages, past.
Right.
So it's not necessarily a red flag. Nowadays, you need to have that type of conversation because you don't know where that person is mentally in
Right.
their life. So it's
Right.
like, okay, we need to be at the first and second date talking about, well, listen here. I ain't having no more kids. I don't want to get married again.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be single and ready to mingle. I'm just trying to have sex. Like you
Right.
gotta these are the conversations that people who are nowadays in the world who are single, they're not just your regular single person and haven't experienced, you know, a marriage or a long-term relationship or, you know, all those different things. People coming in that are single been through a lot of different things in their life. So
Right.
those sacrifice or those uncomfortable conversations need to be had.
Now, Sheree, you see how your husband was like, "Oh my God, that's a turnoff," which I've heard. And then you, being a woman, you see how we just think different. We're just built different. And women like to protect us from being hurt, used, abused, or whatever our issue was from the past. We want to talk about these things, especially women that are 30 plus. We done been through the ropes. Listen, I know I'm a bad first dater. I know I'm a bad first dater because I want to know your traumas.
Yeah.
Have you been touched as a kid? Have you been abused? How was your mom? How was your dad? You know what I mean? That could be too heavy for a guy who just want to do something.
But I mean, and you know what, and that's interesting that you said that because, and I know we're a little off topic in terms of sacrifice to a certain degree, but you know, it's interesting because, you know, you once you have played the field, you know what I mean, and you're looking at life from a different perspective, and you looking to take things serious and take your life to a different level, or relationships to a different level. Like, it does make sense to want to ask some of those real questions up front. You know what I mean? And you know, like, I guess maybe it could be delivery. I don't know, because a lot of times guys like to go with the flow. You know what I mean? But that's not good enough for a woman that wants to have some definition. You know what I mean? To her life or to the people that she's with. Like, okay, no, I want to know some things. You know what I mean? And sometimes guys can be more so like, listen, let's just let it flow. Like, I don't even know you. I don't even know if I want to, you know what I mean, discuss, you know, marriage or whatever with you. I don't know if you tripping, you know what I mean, if you crazy, because ultimately for us, you know what I mean, I can
See
ask a
how they
woman.
think, damn.
I'm just saying,
right.
I can ask
And
a woman.
why it shouldn't, you shouldn't even think of a person that way. You can just be having a general conversation. And I know sometimes with people in relationships, y'all just sometimes they be talking a whole bunch of nothing. So having a real grown-up conversation shouldn't scare you off or look at me like, oh, she's crazy. Something's wrong with her. That's a red flag. No, I am pushing 40. I done been through some things and I want to be honest. I need to know where you at mentally, because at the end of
I
the day,
respect that.
it is no need for me to be wasting my time having a conversation with you if we're not really on the same page. Like you should be mature enough to have a uncomfortable conversation, and that's the problem. That's why a lot of people, women, are still single, because men have that mindset of, oh, she's crazy because she's talking about marriage, or she's crazy because she's talking about previous situations or whatever. No, she's just being transparent what has happened with her, so that gives you an understanding of who she is and where she is in her life at that moment.
All right, so let me add this, and I appreciate that, and you know what I'm saying, that makes a lot of sense. The deep part about all of this is that, you know, men don't like to be rushed. Like don't try to force my hand. Don't try to scoop me up. And what happens is, and this is not even a knock on women or anything, you guys literally do have, to a certain degree, a biological clock. Because after between, I guess, you know, it starts to get, you know, it like between, I want to say 30 and 45 is really a tight time frame for you to even have children. So in your mind, it's like, hold up, you know, I'm trying to get a situation together. I want to have certain things in place because I don't have my entire life. For men, we can have children at 99. Like, we can still present sperm, you know, to an egg and produce children. So for us, there isn't really a rush. And sometimes that can come off as like, hold up, like chill.
But when we're,
you know,
asking these questions, it's not because we want to have more kids. And I know for me, I'm done. Like, I'm good. So when I'm asking certain questions, those real deep cutting questions, it's because, one, I want to see how you respond, to see if we even on the same page mentally. That's one. Secondly, I don't want my choice to be taken away. I don't want to find out 3 years later about something I could have probably, you know, asked on the second or third date.
But I know for
me,
and
because I'm older, I've wasted a lot of time because I didn't ask important questions, because I didn't do background checks. I went with the flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
the flow didn't work for me.
That means a lot. Age means a lot, because you could be a 40-year-old woman who experienced a whole lot of stuff, who comes across a man who never really had a serious relationship, never had kids. You know what I'm saying? You never had a lot of different things that you have experienced. So in your life, you're like, okay, well, listen here, baby. I don't want no kids. And I really don't want a whole serious relationship. And men in that moment, you can't say, oh, she's crazy or anything, because sometimes men are just as most emotional as we are. They want to be loved. They want to be in relationships. They want to be serious with somebody. They want to have kids. They want to get married. They want all of those things too. So we're not going to act like you're any different from us, because y'all
first of all, you are different from us. And this is what I'm gonna say. Like, first of all, stop trying to be the same thing as a man, because you're different. You are dynamic and beautiful in your own unique way, women. Stop trying to be men too. You don't see us trying to be women.
Men too.
But hear me out real quick. That was aside the point. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Most men know that if I ask you if you're crazy, you're gonna say no anyway. Most of the women that I've dealt with, young and older women, that came off in their first date and they had all the perfect answers to the questions and all that, they was crazy, and I would have known by what they said. The problem is, you're looking for a man you just want him to see, what you want is, you want him to sign a verbal contract to say, hey, you said you wasn't this, you said you wasn't that, as opposed to doing the real work of reading the signs. You ain't gonna get no truth from nobody just asking them first date stuff. You gotta read the signs. That's your job. And you trying to be lazy about it. I'm not saying
people can be very deceiving, and if you are a busy woman who don't got a lot of time to see signs.
But that's your
you know what I mean?
Have to. You can't microwave it. Like you want like even when you finding your friends, new friends, you know, you might be out networking or whatever, and then you meet somebody. It might be somebody that you saw or heard of, or might be somebody that has a certain amount of eliteness in your mind, and you meet them and you're like, they not like how I thought they was, because you read in things, and you have to do that type of research before you engage in any relationship. You can't avoid that. You can't go around it. So I feel asking the questions, but sometimes them questions might not be the direct ones. It might be the
but aren't we talking? The topic tonight is sacrifices, right?
Correct.
So if I'm on a date with a man, that's a sacrifice. I could be getting money, I could be doing that, but I'm across the table with you. What's up?
But that's an investment.
And that
we
whole crazy term, you're using it too loosely, man. You're using it too loosely.
What?
Because, not saying you, but some men will say, "Oh, yeah, she crazy, cause she ain't playing with your ass, so she crazy. She got standards, so she crazy.
Some people be crazy.
You can't get over on her, so she crazy.
No, some people, some women is crazy.
I'm just saying.
And they not going. If you like, hey, can I ask you a question over dinner? Are you crazy? You know what I mean? Like, what's going to be that answer? First of all, most people that's crazy don't even know they crazy.
Explain itself.
Hold up. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You got to pay attention to shit.
But we're not talking about crazy. We talking about norms. We talking about belief system.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I'm not like I may have like over exaggerated. I'm in your business, but to some degree, it's certain things that's very, very important to me that I need to get out the way immediately, or we can't even get to round two.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
I'm just saying, it's nothing wrong with it, but
we're not
doesn't
talking
work.
about young.
It's the
You're
question.
not young anymore. You're not in your prime.
You know what I mean?
You're not in your 20s. You're not in your teens anymore.
Right.
You are talking about 40 and older adults.
Wasted time. I can't do it.
Who got
I just can't.
Kids that are like damn near grown and out the house, and you really just trying to get your groove back, and you don't got time to play games with nobody. So you gotta get to the point.
Yeah.
Like
straight to the point.
I don't disagree, but it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what works and what doesn't work. That's how I look at things. So if it's working for you, fine. But if it's not, then consider another way of doing things. That's all I'm saying. And for most guys that I know that's dating, if somebody comes off like, with all of these direct questions, it's putting up a flag, because it's saying to me, oh, you've been through some shit. Like, it's saying to me, you've been wasting time. It's saying to me, you know what I mean?
If I've been through something, I'm letting you know that. I'm not taking your choice away once again.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? So, and this is just as my theory. When you're dating a mature man, when he's not offended by certain shit. Like, we should be able to ask certain questions, or I should be able to say, listen,
right, it's not being
held some
against
bullshit.
You. Yeah.
What's up with you? Like, what's your intentions? Would that scare a guy off on the first date?
I done had me a crazy. It's okay for a man to be like, oh yeah, I got a crazy baby mom, but I can't tell you I got a crazy baby dad. Like, I look crazy because I'm sharing with you my crazy experiences. But it's okay for you to say, oh, I got a crazy wife, or I got a crazy baby mom. You know what I mean? I had some crazy women in my life. What? Why can't I tell you, well, I had some crazy men, I had some crazy situations.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that.
Why they gotta be a red flag?
But this, all I'm saying is, it just, certain things just is. But what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, it takes time to get to know somebody. You know what I mean? And
people
that
do
comes
got
from
baggage.
actions.
Everybody got baggage.
But this is what I'm saying. It comes from actions. Whether they want to disguise it or not, eventually it's going to come out. So we have to put that work in. Remember, back in the day, you used to have to court somebody. That was a process. You know what I mean? of getting to know that person. That's where courting come from. And if we want to go back even further than that, men and women didn't even really make decisions. It was your parents that did the research on motherfuckers, and they said, "Oh, you gonna marry that motherfucker, and they gonna marry you," because
we talk
they had
about
a more
40 and
mature.
50-year-olds though, Jamal.
No, but hear me what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. They, as your parents, they know you, and they have a more mature understanding of life, and they're picking somebody based on what they know it'll be best for you. Because it is a challenge for you to pick somebody that's best for you, because sometimes you don't even know yourself like that. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge, but it does take work. It takes leg work. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, over time you definitely can see different flags. I had female friends that I was cool with. We had a blast. We would have fun, this, that, and the third. But when I was single, like I wasn't going to feature them, because you showed me some stuff that let me know we cool to have fun. But I mean, you're not going to be, you know, my main joint, because I seen some things. It might have been you was a little sneaky. It might have been, you know, I didn't quite trust you. We have a good time. It ain't nobody hurt nobody. You know, everything is fair, and or whatever the case may be. We having a good time, but I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? So it be little things that you got to pick up on. But I didn't say, are you trustworthy? You know what I mean? Have you ever stolen?
I'm not asking questions like that.
I
not like,
you know,
the
I'm not
person
trying to
is
say it
on the
like that,
stand
but
at
it's through
court.
the actions. Go ahead. What you were saying?
I'm not saying that on a date I ask questions like they're on the stand at court.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like, surface level questions, like, you know, let's say we having drinks and I'm like, you know, like, what you been through?
Right. Why are you single? And
That's
we talking
it. Like,
about
what's wrong with
40
me
and
asking
plus.
that? What was your last
40
relationship
and
like?
plus. Yeah, like, why are you single? Why are you divorced? Or, you know, why you why you by yourself?
And some people don't like to answer those questions. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they either, one, is probably going to look fucked up in the situation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people gonna give you their perspective.
Really
Nobody's wrong from their perspective. So that's why it's almost
that's
like,
true.
You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for you to really get that true person from what they're saying. You're going to have to kind of get it from what they're doing, and kind of observe people around. Like, there's a lot of little ways to get to know somebody. If you and they sitting at home, like, get a chance to see. I was dating somebody, and it was like the family ain't even like respect this joint. Like, you know what I mean? Or you go around the way and niggas is like, oh, that's such and such. And you sit up here walking around with something you think is a prize, but like your family don't respect you. Like, people like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So you got to observe people in different settings also to get a feel for who they are. You know what I mean? And you know, like, that's going to be the true tell, because honestly, people will tell you whatever they want to say.
Now, can I give you an example of something? So, say I'm on a date with a guy. I avoid asking my normal first date questions. And then now we're dating for 6 months. And he's constantly blowing up my phone. When I tell him I'm going somewhere, he don't believe me. You know, he's showing signs of being jealous or crazy, whatever you want to call it. Now, I approach this guy and I say, like, yo, what's up with you? Like, yeah, man, I was in a relationship for 5 years with a girl who was out here making me look stupid. So, had we would have had that conversation, had I would have known that you was somebody who was getting cheated on in your past, it would make sense for me to be like, okay, he has trauma with trust. So let me start communicating with him more to make him comfortable. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, if I know something prior, I can avoid a problem.
No,
I'm always trying to avoid a problem. I don't like
I respect it.
I like for everything to be fun.
Yeah. No, I respect it, but it's like, we really can't, honestly, you know what I'm saying? And I said this before, a relationship is going to take you through hell. And we can't avoid that, John. I had jealousy, you know, early on in our relationship too. You know what I mean? But some of it was because, you know, I was kind of getting used to being vulnerable with loving somebody, you know what I mean, the way that I love Cherie, you know what I'm saying, starting off. So it put me in an uncomfortable place. So you know what I mean, I was snapping and shit on certain things.
It was a bunch of red flags,
you know what I
mean? I missed them.
So, but I'm just saying, so, you know, like that's something that we had to overcome and kind of, you know, move beyond. But my heart was in the right place. I really did love her, but I didn't know how to deal with loving somebody like that. That was kind of, you know, it's women, y'all got that shit. Y'all done love my
First of all, women that are like that are protective, are nurturing. What is wrong with that? See, that scare y'all.
What you mean? That women is like that's like what?
Because from what you described, it seemed like she was an overly concerned woman, right?
Oh no. I was saying I had jealousy issues. Me personally.
Oh, you was the jealous one.
Yeah, I had jealousy issues.
The red.
You know what I mean? You know, starting. I mean, she did too, but I'm just saying, like, you know. No, I'm just being honest.
Sharice is doing her thing. That's all I can say.
No, I'm just being honest. It was like, and she, you know, she be jealous now. But anyway, but like early on, one of the things was like, you know, honestly, from this is what I got from it later on, looking back. So, you know, as you get older, we grow, we get more mature, we start recognize certain things, flaws that we had that we, you know, may have overcome or whatever. And I recognize. And I said this to her, you know, we spoke about this before. I'm like, yo, like I was having a challenge with, you know, being vulnerable about loving somebody. And that put me in a different space that I've been in before, you know what I mean? And so, you know, my wife is an attractive person and, you know what I mean? We doing things. She has a beautiful smile and, you know what I mean? And things like that. And, you know, I love this woman, but I do feel, you know, vulnerable. So it was like, you know, I did have spells where I was showing jealous behavior, you know what I mean? And, you know, she could have took that honestly and be like, oh, this nigga crazy. You know what I mean?
And jealousy isn't bad. Like, it's a sign of protection. It's a sign of concern as well. It just looks different.
Right. It can, you know what I mean? And, you know, but again, like, you know, we had to go through these different spells. You know, she's had her stuff that we've had to work through. I've had my stuff that we've had to work through. We've had our things, but it's like at the end of the day, we can't avoid it. Everything ain't gonna be sweet. You know what I mean? All the time. You know, things, you know, get better or you get wiser or something, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, like we can't avoid, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna come with the relationship game. What, you know what I mean? Like it's messed up because it feels like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm wasting time. Like I thought this was something or whatever, you know. So it does seem like that, and I can respect it. You know, anybody that's like, you know, doing anything and just want to say, all right, cool, we done had our fun. Let's lock in. Let me have somebody be a life partner or whatever the case may be. It may not even be a lifetime. You just might want somebody, I mean, for the winter. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, we really can't avoid having to do the research or put the work in emotionally. And it's going to take us through those highs and those lows. Like, that's just the game. If you a hustler, nigga, if you get booked, that comes with the game. You got to be ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That definitely is a sacrifice when you go out. But again, a sacrifice is a form of investment, and you making that sacrifice to potentially find somebody that's going to be your person. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So why waste time on somebody with dumb answers?
But stop focusing on time though. But look, y'all talk a lot about time and you know what I mean? Maybe like I said, I'm not a woman, so I don't, you know what I mean? I don't really get that same urgency with stuff, and guys may not. You know what I mean? My dad is in his mid-50s or whatever like that. You know, he has his relationship set up how he wants, and you know, we're different. We're wired different. So it just seems like y'all got so much focus on time, and that could be a good or bad thing because it can rush you into something that you probably shouldn't be, or it could like have you trying to rush something that needs to be, you know, taken slow. You know what I mean?
Me asking important questions doesn't mean that I'm rushing at all. That's me trying to see if this is something that I want to deal with or not.
But you gotta find that out.
That's the thing. I can ask about your whole life and have no intentions on being in a relationship with you. I might get the understanding after talking to you after a few hours that, yeah, I don't think this is no flow here.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and that's, see, here go the thing. This the thing too. This is the interesting part about it. And this why I mentioned that parents used to pick your mate. Because for real, you know what I'm saying, we all are striving to be our best us.
Mm-hmm.
So the person that doesn't flow with you today might have been, or yesterday, the person that didn't flow with you yesterday might have been the right person to be in flow with the person you're going to be next year or the year after that. So it's interesting. You kind of have to understand who you are and also understand where you want to be, because I've said this before. There's a lot of guys that was not like, that wasn't romantic relationship guys. You know, they wasn't the charmers. They didn't wish you off your feet and have all of that there. You know what I mean? Sometimes those guys was the ones that was wasting your time because they knew how to put on a good interview. Oh yeah, listen, baby, I want long term. You know, I know what I want. You know, wop. You know what I mean? And give you that whole spiel.
Oh no, that's never been the case. Oh, that's never been the case.
But I'm just saying, some guys are just great interviewers. They're great on dates. They're great in bed, but they don't have no real intention.
But not in my world.
No, I'm just saying in general. I can't speak for, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, put you on the stand. But it's some good dudes that got overlooked.
Bullshit men avoid me. So that's one thing I love about being who I am. Bullshit man is not even going to play with me.
A bullshitter always loves a challenge. Let me explain something to you. A bullshitter always loves a challenge. You understand me?
That may be true.
Listen, a professional bullshitter is going to love to take down somebody that just know what they want. Believe me.
But here's the thing. Hold on. But see, this is the other side to the coin. A woman can say, okay, I'm looking for a relationship, or maybe not. She might just want to smash. You're not getting over.
Right.
I gave you something because I wanted something.
Yeah, no, that's respectable.
Let's get that all the way out the way.
No, that's respectable. And listen, fair exchange is never a robbery. But my initial
But you are right. There are some false
professional bullshitters,
representation of men out here.
Yeah, no intent, and that's
cool. They make it.
And that's what I don't like about. That's what I don't like when women say, like, you know, I asked them this question, this, and the third. Like, I'm saying that you asked a question and you wanted a specific answer, and this guy gave you the answer that you wanted just to make you feel good, as opposed to you doing the research to see what he was really about, so you can go off of your instincts. See, you just want somebody to tell you. I ain't gonna say you want somebody to lie to you, but for real, just say this so I can feel comfortable about giving you what I want to give you. You know what I'm saying?
So let me break it down to you why I do this.
Okay.
I'm big on accountability. I live by that. So if I ask you certain questions and your handshake not matching your smile, that's it. That's the whole point of that. That's how. So, for example, if a guy is trying to court me, so to speak, and he's telling me, oh, he want to be in a relationship with me. Oh, he can't stop thinking about me. Oh, he wake up thinking about me. But I only hear from you twice a week. And I'm using this as an example.
That's real life, though.
So if you let that guy get over on you, you're the fool. You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I'm only asking these questions so I can keep an eagle eye to see if this is what you're really about. So regardless if you are a so-called player or not, your actions are going to show, like you said. You'll see through time. But in my mind, because I'm a civilized being, before I cut you off, I want to let you know why I cut you off so you can learn from this when I leave your ass.
No, I respect it. I just feel like the questions is more so just a receipt. Just so, you know what I mean? Like, a female be like, yo, you know what I mean? Is you married or something like that? You know this nigga married. You just want him to say no, so you can be like, he told me he wasn't married. Like, stop the games, beloved. Like, you knew the nigga was married. You just wanted him to say that, so now you can feel justified and doing what you wanted to do. You know what I mean? and you can show a receipt and show here goes text message. Like,
some people
stop
are
that.
just delusional,
You know what I mean?
like that.
Some people can be
they
like
get
that.
off of their own delusions.
But my whole thing was initially it's like, you know what I mean, a lot of good dudes really didn't match up to what women, I mean, a woman's flow, so to speak. But then you wasn't thinking about, not you, but some of these women not thinking about the future. You not seeing a potential in this nigga. You just want a nigga that's already, yeah, I mean, he already got it made. Like, you know how many motherfuckers want a nigga that already got it made? Sometimes you got to get a nigga that's on the verge of being his best and being the shit so you can get in on him early. You know what I mean? Everybody want a nigga that's already laid the foundation, and that's why you're going to get a nigga that everybody else want, and you're not going to have value when a nigga has so many options. So sometimes you have to be smart and get ahead of the game. You know what I mean? You got to be like, you know what? He might be a little corny, but he really ambitious. Like, he really got his mindset on the stock shit or whatever. Like, maybe, you know, that he might be doing something with this. I see how hard he worked. Like, yo, he really is a hard worker, and really rock with that. And then next thing you know, you the one with the prize. You know what I mean? So to speak.
But here's the thing.
You know what I mean? And that's how people play you.
What if a
woman, they give you all the bells and
what
whistles,
if a woman
and don't be about
matches
nothing.
his success? Now what? Now you're only dealing with people at this point. Now we back at the same drawing board.
What you mean?
You said your advice to women or to society, who's ever watching, is that we should focus on a man and I guess grow with him or grow with his success. Yeah. But what I was saying to you was, what if the woman matches his success?
So what's wrong with that?
So now we're on even planes is what I'm saying.
But what's wrong with that?
No, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm just asking you. I'm just talking about, we're talking about dating, right?
Yeah.
So what if I meet someone and we're on the same exact level, mentally and financially? Okay. If we have something to measure. Now what?
So
am I supposed to do something super out of the ordinary?
What you mean super out of the ordinary?
No. So
I'm not getting it.
Because
I'm just saying, I'm not quite getting it, because what I was speaking to is women that have had, you know what I'm saying, a challenge with, you know what I'm saying, finding men that's genuine or whatever the case may be. And what I was just saying was, you know, a lot of times when you're looking for something that's already prepared, you know what I mean, that's already done. And by the time a man is already done, is already prepared, he has so many options. So it makes more sense to when you're looking to find somebody, or when you're in the market for a man, is to look for somebody that has potential, that is going in the right direction. May not even necessarily be there. I'm saying, I know personally a lot of guys that was quote unquote, like, I ain't gonna say nerdy, you know what I mean, but they just, you know, they wasn't smooth, they wasn't super romantic. These are all things you can learn, by the way, as you come into yourself as a man. You know what I mean? You can get into that mode as you get more confidence, as you get certain goals accomplished. You know what I mean? And they were overlooked because they weren't romantic. They was overlooked because they didn't have the right things to say. They didn't have this certain charisma, right? And so they got overlooked. And now we look in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, these guys, you know what I mean, have prevailed. And some of them even soared over the guys that were so smooth. And the niggas that were so smooth, they still doing this, running the same game. And it's like a lot of females missed out because you're looking for what's shiny instead of looking for that diamond in the rough that you can buff off, you know what I mean, and grow with. You know what I mean? Because men take time to develop, just like, you know, just like anybody, women do.
Now that I would definitely have to agree with. However, like I always say, is always another side of a coin. Women can be with that man who's not quite there, whether it be financially, romantically, sexually, or whatever. And then once he develops his there, then he may go off and be somewhere else. Because some people get cocky like that.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
people are just tricky.
No, that's a fact. I'm not gonna deny it, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying, you know, once you build a relationship with a man, especially from the beginning, like, just damn near like a dog. A dog ain't gonna forget who fucking fed him. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Sometimes motherfuckers will raise a dog to be, you know, mean and this, that, and the third. A dog that knows that you feeding him, that you care for him, they gonna ride for you. You know what I mean? And yes, any relationship you can outgrow a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Whether you getting money or not. And it can be looked at as being cocky. You can outgrow somebody, you know what I mean, without being rich. That can happen. But a man is always going to remember somebody that was there for him, especially supporting him as he coming up. If a motherfucker that you supporting, listen, baby, you know what I'm saying? Look, you got this. We gonna make this shit happen.
I've
Let's
witnessed,
you know what I mean?
some stuff. Being a
Yeah.
hairstylist and so many women sitting in my chair. Yeah.
Stories.
No,
I didn't seen women that held it down for years, paid all the bills and all of that. Oh, she paid for CDL school, and I mean the whole dream, and got fucked. But
yeah, that's one
again, like I
perspective,
said,
though.
people is people, life is life.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it really just depends.
And again, it's unfair because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you listen to just one person, they never wrong. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to, you know what I mean? They never wrong. It's always, you got friends like that or people that you know, it's always everybody else. It's always what you doing for everybody else and everybody else screwing you over. And it's like for real, like why you keep on always getting in these bad situations? You know what I'm saying? Like, so even with that, a lot of times people will say, you know, what they done did, this, that, and the third, and it's just a perception. But the reality of it is, you know what I'm saying? You right by a man or vice versa by a woman when they getting off, you know what I'm saying? When they getting off their feet, you supporting them like that, they always gonna remember that. And sometimes, yeah, they could outgrow you. That's a part of life also. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You are better off using your instinct to try to bond with a mate as opposed to, you know, looking at the shininess of, you know what I'm saying, the situation, because niggas get over because they know what you like. Like a nigga know what you like. He put that little chain on, you know what I mean? He get a haircut, he put that cologne on, he put on that outfit that he know all the Jones like, you know, he hop in the car, it might be from Toro, you know what I mean? You don't know that. You know what I mean? He might got the Louis Vuittons, it might be the little knockoff Jones, you don't know that. You know what I mean? And he's putting on this show, you know, as a peacock. He's flaring out his wings, you know what I mean? And he's fluttering them, and they look, it's so good to you, and you just cannot refuse again.
But that's
you know
if
what I
you
mean?
go for that. That's if you go for that. Like everybody's looking for different things. Like I might be intrigued by the guy who got paint all over his clothes and dusty boots. That might be attractive to me, or he look like he can use his hands. So it really, I guess, like I said, people is people. It depends.
No, I respect it.
Some people are blinded by the glittery stuff. Even the women who look like they're glamorous and they like, you know, all the shiny stuff, you'd be surprised. They like the most simplest shit. So
no,
people is people. It depends. But your point is right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, in the whole quest, you know, I know that it's not going to be easy. You know what I mean? We all looking for the microwave situation, but you know, it's oven work with a lot of this. You know, we used to do the courting. We used to go out on dates. You know what I'm saying? To get a feel for things. Shit, we used to sit on each other's steps and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know, we lost a lot of that. Now it's inboxing, it's DMs.
But
Your first
that's
date.
my whole
you know
point.
What I mean?
That's why communication is such a turnoff in society now. It's like there was a time where you had to get someone's number, or you had to have some type of game, or whatever the case may be. It's not like that now. So when you start having these conversations, or if you might want to say, hey, let's go to the park, let's sit on the bench and just talk. Some people might be uncomfortable with that because they're just not used to communicating in that way. Yeah. Which is something that I normally run into, like a crash course, you know, being single in 2022, 35 plus, baby.
Whole new buggy.
Baby. Listen.
Good.
I hope you and your wife stay together for eternity, because y'all don't want this shit out here, I'm telling you. Work it out, talk it out.
Damn.
It's a mess. It's a mess out here.
It's always been a mess.
It's a mess. It's such a mess.
Yeah, listen, I can, you know.
And the women is the blame for the mess. Not the men, the women.
Wow.
They're the blame. I'm gonna put it out here because I know it's gonna be recorded and posted on YouTube, and I want them to hear this.
Oh wow,
Y'all are the blame for the bullshit right now. Okay, y'all just dealing with anything, letting anything and everything slide, and they think that this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but I'll save that for another topic.
Listen, I respect it. Listen, next week, y'all, we are live in person. We at MXL Cafe. You know what I'm saying?
The link is in my bio. You must buy a ticket to get in.
Yes, I'm going to tell everyone I know to buy a ticket. This is going to be a big deal.
We got to top it up, man. We're going to have a good time.
And this is an open discussion live. So the topics are open discussion. The people on the panel are going to be allowed to talk about whatever they want to talk about. There won't be nothing specific. We just going to go in on, again, a married woman, a married man, a single woman, a single man. A 23 to 25-year-old woman and a 23 to 25-year-old man. And I think I would like to have a divorced man.
Jomo said he got a ticket for you.
You better.
A divorced man and a divorced woman. I would like, if anybody that's open that are divorced, a divorced man and a divorced woman, that will be great.
I can find 2 of them for you tonight.
Wow.
So we got, again, we have a married man, a married woman, a single man, a single woman. That's what we're looking for the panel. A 23 to 25-year-old woman, a 23 to 25-year-old man, and a divorced man and a divorced woman that's out dating in 2022. That's what we're looking for.
Wow.
Since I'm the single woman, I'll sit next to the divorced people.
There you go.
Because I don't want nobody rolling their eyes at me.
That's a good idea.
I'm already claiming my squad right now.
All right, so listen, make sure you think about what question you want to pose to the panel and to the people that's going to be there.
I already know my question.
Okay. All right, keep it to yourself. Listen.
Yeah, don't forget to send me a picture if anybody interested in being on the panel.
You want a headshot
categories? Just a headshot is cool.
Okay.
Just inbox me and let me know if you want to be a part of the panel. I need to know ASAP though, like ASAP, because we want to get the flyer out. We want to start promoting it again. That's August 24th from 7 to 9 at Maximum Level Cafe in West Philly. Again, the link is in my bio for the ticket. If anybody's interested in being a part of the panel, again, that's a married man, married woman.
Let's get it.
Single man, single woman, a 23 to a 25-year-old woman, 23 to 25-year-old man, and I'm looking for a divorced man and a divorced woman.
Ooh, baby.
So, if anybody interested, please let me know. We appreciate everybody coming on tonight, joining us. This is always good, always good energy, good vibes. If you missed this, we'll be on our YouTube channel tomorrow. That's the Davises and Friends. The link won't be in my bio tomorrow, y'all, because I'm gonna have the ticket link in my bio. But that's the Davises and Friends. That's our YouTube channel. If you missed this episode, and I appreciate everybody coming and joining tonight.
Yes.
That's next week, man.
Good night, guys. I love being in the presence of Black excellence, and I always learn from you guys. Thank you for sharing your platform. I'll see y'all next week. I'm going to sell the most tickets.
Let's get it.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right, April.
You too.
Bye.